Cash out. Cash out. Cash out.
All right, back with another episode, TD Talk. Here with my man Dave. You know how we do
What
here
up?
on
What up?
TD Talk. Here to give y'all
TD
some
Talk.
college parlays, college picks. Dave, what you got for the people?
Got some good matchups today. We got college game day up in Oregon. I think Ohio State's gonna fuck them up.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a decent game for the first half, and then Ohio State's going to lay down the whipping. So, uh, anyways, let's jump on into our first matchup. We're going to go ahead and get right straight to it. Y'all know, follow us on Instagram, TD Talk, follow us on YouTube, and, lock in with us. Like, subscribe, do all those good things. You already know. So, let's jump on into it. First things first, on the 12 o'clock slate, we want to jump into our first matchup that we kind of looking at. We want to talk about just a little bit. We got Army. Okay, we got Army versus UAB. This is at home at Army, minus 27, minus 108 for your money. Plus 27 for UAB, 10 minus 104. A little bit cheaper there on the underdog. Over under 55 and a half, minus 111, a little bit more expensive for the under. And then plus 1457 for the underdog, minus 2893 for Army. So essentially, they're looking at this as a straight blowout for Army. Okay.
Yeah, every game they play has pretty much been a blowout. They're 5-0 overall, 5-0 against the spread too. So they've been a train. And you got 4-1 on the over under. So yeah, Army's probably gonna steamroll these boys.
Yeah, and if you look at Army and how they've been playing lately, now you got to question the competition. But at the end of the day, you look at Tulsa. They play Tulsa, winning in Tulsa.
Tulsa, Temple, Rice,
Yeah, Tulsa.
FAU.
All of those games was blowouts, though.
Yeah,
I think FAU held them to the least points here with 24, but all of those games was blowouts. Now, do I like the 27? No, I don't like the 27. I think that yeah, it's gonna be a blowout. But are they gonna allow UAB to put up some points here? Because if you look at UAB, me personally, when they play Tulane, Tulane's a tough team. But they put up 20 points on Tulane, even though Tulane put up 71. I don't know if that was,
they
in the back half of the.
that was probably garbage time.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know for
you
sure.
know that's what I'm saying. So if let's just say Army goes up, let's say 42, okay, they go up to 42 nothing. Then they put their backups in. Can the backups, muster up 21 points against Army's backups, and then you're outside of the spread by, 6, 7 points. Do I want to play that game? I think I stay close to 17 on the spread. I think that's a comfortable spot for
Yeah,
me.
17's a good spot.
Yeah, I think I like it at 17.
I mean, you can look
Under
back at Army when they played Navy, or not Army. I mean, UAB played Navy, and Navy and Army are about the same style team, and UAB lost 18-41. So it'll probably be that similar look.
Yeah, so about 23 points right in that ballpark.
Yeah, it'll
Okay,
probably
I
be
like it.
something like that.
Like I said, I'm right there with the 17-point spread. I kind of like it right in that ballpark. All right, let's roll on to another 12 o'clock game here. I actually think this game's going to be really good. I don't know if a lot of people keep eyes on these teams, but I think this game's going to be a pretty good game. You got Wisconsin, they going down to Rutgers. That's a long trip down to New York. So you got minus 1.5 for Rutgers, minus 110 there for your money. Under over 44, even. 110 either way. Then you got plus 105 on the underdog, pretty much a little bit more than even money, and then minus 125 and cost you a little bit more to go with the favorites in Rucker. And I think they got this right. Dave, how you feel on this?
Yeah, Rutgers been pretty solid. They're kind of a sleeper team this year. Everybody was talking about how Rutgers beat Washington and how Washington wasn't going to beat Michigan.
Mm,
But Rutgers pretty solid, and Washington did beat Michigan. So Rutgers beat them 21-18. All their games been pretty close except for that first with Akron 49-17. But Virginia Tech 26-23, Washington 21-18, and then Nebraska last week snooze fest 7-14.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, and Nebraska and Wisconsin are similar teams as well, kind of like the Army and Navy. But Wisconsin put up 52 on Purdue, 52-6 last week. So yeah, this could be a really good game.
Yeah, I think it can. And then also got that quarterback trying to make a name for himself, and he's Mahomes copycat.
Oh
Dylan
fucking yeah.
Dylan is that what Wisconsin? I think it's Nebraska. I think I'm off there.
It might be
You know,
Nebraska. I get them mixed up though. Wisconsin and Nebraska are pretty similar.
yeah. But Wisconsin, they've had some good games. They did lose to USC. They did lose to Alabama, and Alabama put 42 points up on the board. USC a little bit closer of a game, but they still got out of that game. USC still got out of that game, and that was at USC. So Alabama did come to Wisconsin. They put that hurting on them, and like you said, when it went, Purdue came to town. 52-6. We seen Purdue, and I was kind of high on Purdue early in the season when they had 2 wins, and the quarterback was dropping dimes. He didn't throw the ball away to the other team. But what I do know is that ever since then, they've been getting smacked around 52-6 from a Wisconsin team. Rutgers got their work cut out for them, but it's at Rutgers. That's a long flight from Wisconsin. I'm going with Rutgers here.
Yeah,
I
I
would
like
take.
Rutgers too. Rutgers 4-1, 3-1, and a push against the spread. Wisconsin's 1-4 against the spread. So yeah, I'll take Rutgers on that one. Might be a low
Yeah,
scoring game though.
yeah, it might be. It might be because you see, like you say, Nebraska is 7-14 on that game, and I kind of see a similar style game, maybe 21-14, in favor of Rutgers. Rutgers plays good defense, so I like Rutgers on
Yeah, I
this
like Rutgers too.
money line Rutgers. No, don't take that spread. I think it's a
Spread.
yeah, I think it could get close, but I do like Rutgers on the money line. All right, let's roll into our next game for 12 o'clock slate. Next game for our 12 o'clock slate. Let's look at this game. And this game to me is another one of those blowout games to me. You got minus 21. They going down to Wake Forest, coming down to Wake Forest. Not really that long of a trip. You jump in the bus from South Carolina, drive on down to Raleigh area. Oh, excuse me. Well, they moved to what is that? Is that Winston Salem? Was it Winston Salem? What?
Yeah, they are closer to they're closer to Charlotte now.
Yeah, they moved out. Wake Forest is not in Wake Forest for those of y'all that don't know. So minus 21, minus 108. It's just a little bit cheaper for that 21. Spread over 64, minus 108 on that. And then you also got plus 21 for the underdog, minus 112, a little bit more expensive to take the underdog here, but under 64 is minus 112, a little bit more expensive for the under as well. You got 1,000 plus, you got a plus 1,000 underdog to a minus 2,000 favorite. So in this matchup, Dave Clemson, they put up a lot of points. And against Wake Forest, I see the same thing happening.
Yeah, their only losses to Georgia, which was game one.
Hmm.
And since then they've been putting up pretty good points. They put 66 up on App State, 59 on NC State, 40 on Stanford, 29 on Florida State. So the only spread they lost was last week. They were minus 16 and a half favorite, but I think they'll put up they'll probably put up at least 40 on Wake Tech or Wake
Yeah,
Forest. I mean.
yeah. Wake Forest, to me, they really don't have um, nothing to really give here. I don't think they're as a good team as they've been in previous years. I know the year what was it last year? I think it was that they won. They won a lot of games last year. I only think they lost 1 or 2 games last year. They were really good last year, but this year not so much. I think that they lost what they had last year, and some of those seniors, maybe some of those fifth-year seniors, kind of graduating. But they don't have the same team as they have had. I will say, first half game total under um, for Clemson in 4 of their last 6 away games. They hit the game total under in the first half.
Mhm.
So It's looking kind of undery. That's a high score. But um, if I was looking to take this game, just give me Clemson on, I'd say again, that 17-point line. If you're feeling it, take Clemson on the 21, 3 touchdowns. It could turn into a blowout game.
That spread is a little high, but it's not too scary.
Yeah.
I think they can put up some points on Wake Forest for sure.
Yeah, I definitely can see that happening. I mean, Clemson is they started to get that game that offense rolling. Now, let's move on into this game. I really think that you might kind of those of you that watch these two teams, I really think that you guys game just started actually. This game was I was on the wrong side of the Washington Michigan game with Michigan on the money line, but we have Washington going down into Iowa. Iowa is a tough team, but Washington has held their own. Washington has definitely held their own. So this one's going to be a good game. I think they got the spread right here. I think it'll be a low score. So you got +3, -115 here, a little bit more expensive on Washington. -3 is your favorite, 105, a little bit cheaper to take Iowa with the spread. Over under 41.5, and then +125, -150 on your favorite Iowa. Okay, so like I say, this game right here is gonna. I think it'll come down to the wire, come down to the fourth quarter. But in this game, it is going to be a really good game as far as Washington and Iowa goes. Dave, how you see this one playing out?
Yeah, Iowa's got tough defense. I think they run the ball a lot. They lost to Ohio State last week, 7-35,
Hmm.
and they were a 17-point dog. But they got a couple of good wins against Minnesota, Troy, um, and then some other small teams. Iowa State, they lost 1-point game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Washington's pretty solid. They lost to Rutgers, but we already said we like Rutgers. Um, they beat up on Michigan last week. So yeah, I do like Washington, and I'll take the 3 points for sure.
Yeah. What I say here is if you put this in a parlay, stretch that take that alternate spread on Washington +7.5.
Yeah,
You can open it up a little bit. Yeah, you won't get the of course the -110 odd or -105, -108 for the +7.5, but you probably could get around two, maybe -160, 170, maybe around that mark for that +7.5. And if you take that touchdown, I think you'll win that bet because I think it'll be a field goal game.
yeah, for sure.
All right, let's jump on into this game here for UNC versus Georgia Tech. I like this game. You got -3.5, -103. It's a little bit cheaper to take the favorite. Then you got over under 61.5. Excuse me, 61 flat, -108, and then you got -162 for the favorite, +143 for the underdog here in UNC. UNC hasn't been playing UNC Tar Heel football since Drake May left, and then since they got that new quarterback, he got kind of went out in that first game. They've been on their backup quarterback. They got embarrassed by James Madison. To me, Georgia Tech, we seen them in the opener against Florida State. I actually picked Florida State in the opener, thinking that DJ Uyunglele was that guy. I still had a little bit of faith in him. I think I took the I want to say I took the money line because it wasn't supposed to be a Florida State was favored in that game. But either way, Georgia Tech came out and they surprised me. They were a really big team, big on the offensive line, big on the defensive line. They had good linebackers, good solid running back game. And to me, I see that team, Georgia Tech team, big boys going into Carolina. I think that they're going to beat them. They're going to beat them. I think it'll be a field goal touchdown game, but I still see Georgia Tech coming out with the win. I don't think UNC has nothing to offer. They on their backup quarterback. They've been embarrassed already. Dave, what you think?
UNC in their last 10 games is 0-9 against the spread.
Mm,
0-9 and a push. So 0-5 this year against the spread. Yeah, I like Georgia Tech, but my pick for this game will be that under under that 60 points.
Okay. All right. You
Georgia Tech
taking
and
it?
UNC have both. Georgia Tech's 1-5 over under, so they've hit 5 unders. UNC's hit 4 unders, and the only over in the last couple games is that 50-70 game against James Madison, but I don't see that happening on this game.
No.
So
No.
yeah,
No way.
60 points. Georgia Tech and UNC that are been hitting all these unders, and most of their lines that they hit the unders on were in the 50 range. So if you give me 60.5, yeah, I'll take the under on that.
Okay. And then with me on this side, on this matchup here, to me, the way I see this game going, like I say, I'm taking money line on the Georgia Tech team. Give me money line, straight up. Give me the win. I don't believe in Carolina this year. I'm sorry, but I don't
Yeah.
believe in them. All right, let's go into this matchup. Let's go to our 3:30 block. 3:30 block. This is going to be a really good game on TV. Plus 3.5 on your UNC. Excuse me, USC. USC is the underdog going, and they're a at home underdog. Under 51 here, minus 110, and then plus 150 if you bet USC, minus 180 if you bet on Penn State. Now, Dave, talk to me about USC. I mean, I know you're LSU guy. Y'all played in the opener, I think it was, and that was a hell of a game. What do you see for USC?
Yeah, USC's got that. They do got a good quarterback. They look pretty damn good. Let's see. They lost to Michigan, 3-point game. They beat up on Wisconsin, and then they lost to Minnesota. So yeah, I don't. Other than that win at LSU, not super impressive. So I like Penn State. Penn State's up there in the top five at AP polls right now.
Yeah,
Penn State's
yep,
5-0. Hit a bunch of unders. USC can, they I think they like to step up against these bigger teams, so
yeah.
they could put up a little fight, but I think I like the Penn State money line.
Yeah, and the way I see this game going is I see that the USC defense is a little, I mean, they're better than they have been in years, but Penn State likes to run that ball, man. They like to punch that ball down the throat. And y'all know my saying. Hey, these college kids, they don't like filling the A and B gap on Saturday. So that's the way I see it. I see USC, they coming downhill, but eventually Penn State wears them down, and I see Penn State getting out of here with a win. So
Yeah.
I like them. I like them on the money line today. I think the spread, you kind of get into trouble with the spread because I will say the kicking game for Penn State is a little iffy, a little iffy. Okay, so I think they don't really have a good kicker, so that could hurt you. But I do think that if they're able to run that ball, then they're going to be able to win this game.
Yeah, I think they'll put up some points, and that money line's a pretty good line, minus 170-ish, so
All right,
throw
all
that
right.
in the parlay.
So this is also this is a game that's still in that 3 o'clock, that 3:30 block. So these two games will be going on at the same time. But I think that this game is going to be a really good game as well. You got the Oklahoma at home plus 17 underdog to Texas. Quinn Ewers is supposed to be back in this game, so they got a minus 17 favorite here, minus 110 for your money either way. Over under 49, minus 110, and then minus 788 for the favorite, plus 562 if you're gonna bet the upset. Okay. Now, way I see this, okay, Quinn Ewers, okay, follow me here, okay. Arch Manning came in, he doing his thing. They talk about he running 20 some miles an hour, touchdowns and all this. Then they got Quinn Ewers come in. Okay. Quinn Ewers been out for about 3 weeks now. Okay. And the way I see Quinn Ewers is that he's a good quarterback, pretty accurate with the ball. He can run that offense pretty well. But any quarterback that kind of has time off comes in mid-season, I think that the gameplay is going to be faster than what he's used to. So, do I see Texas, getting it done early? No, I don't. I see that they're going to take a little bit of time. If Quinn Ewers is starting, they're going to take a little bit of time to get going. I think Quinn Ewers is going to take a little second to get going. And if Oklahoma hops on them early and the crowd gets into it, I think Texas will have a tough first half. But I do think that they'll come and start to get their bearings around them in the second half. I do see them winning. The 17 to me is uncomfortable, but not unrealistic. So if you're going to take this game to be safe on the safe side, take it by 2 touchdowns. I think they go up late. But if you're feeling froggy at the 17, take the 17. Like I say, it's going to be a tough environment for Texas, but I don't think that Oklahoma can move that ball enough to keep up with Texas. So give me minus 13 and a half on this Texas.
Yeah, if you're gonna go full game, I like that minus 13 and a half because, like you said, it might be a slow start. So you could also look at some of the first half lines and see if Oklahoma can hang in there in the first half and get the underdog on the half line, and then yeah, Texas probably gonna come into start grooving in the second half.
Yeah. Yeah, and then think about this. What if Arch Manning does start? What if they just say, "All right, Quinn Ewers, we've been rolling. It ain't broke. Let's not fix it." And let's say Arch does start. What do you think about that?
I don't. I think Quinn Ewers gonna start, and Quinn Ewers was favored for the Heisman before he got hurt. So,
Yeah,
and I think he's nice and healthy now because they were able to let him sit for an extra week. I think so.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he'll come in and ball out. Might just take a minute to get going.
All right, I see the same way. All right, so let's look on into this 4 o'clock block. This will start 30 minutes after those two games. You got the BYU versus Arizona. BYU is at home. That's an electric place. Minus 2.5 here, minus 114. A little bit more expensive to take that 2.5. Under over 48. Either way, 108, minus 108. And then you got plus 121 on Arizona, minus 137. Now, uh, Arizona. Okay, let's talk about Arizona first. Arizona, up and down little season here, but they did put it on Houston. They crunched them, and now Houston not a bad, not a terrible team. They did lose last night against Arizona State. I had a Scatterboo for a touchdown, and I hit on that. Scatterboo, he didn't get going till a little bit later, but he broke loose on a 50, 60-yard run and took that thing to the house, and I think that changed the game. I really think that touchdown won the game for him. But Arizona State, not a great team, and they lost to them. And then they also lost to Arizona. Utah, they also lost to Arizona 23-10. And then Arizona lost to Texas 22-28. So way I see this game playing out, we had Kansas State. I remember it was on a Friday. We had Kansas State going into BYU. Kansas State was coming off a great win, and that quarterback was looking really good. Young kid. His first 3 steps out the pocket is quick, very quick kid, very fast kid, very great quarterback. I see out of him. He's got a couple more years, before he starts talking about draft and stuff like that. But I think when that time comes, he'll be a top 5, top 10 pick. With that, when you go into BYU, Arizona, when you go into BYU and they hear that electric stadium, BYU is a big team. They play good defense, and that special teams unit they have is ridiculous. So give me BYU here. Give me BYU at home. I know that they looking at them in this matchup as the favorite, and I see them that way too. Give me the money line on BYU. Dave?
Yeah, I think the spread's a little low because I think BYU's gonna wax them. So yeah, that money line look is pretty damn good. Minus 150 ish around there. BYU's 5-0. They beat some good ball clubs. They beat SMU,
Mm-hmm.
Kansas State, Baylor last week.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so I like BYU too. I'm surprised that the line is that tight.
Yeah, just those 3 teams right there that you mentioned, those are really good teams, and BYU is projected at the beginning of the season to be, like, last place.
Yeah, BYU's pretty nice. So yeah, I like BYU money line there.
Alright. Alright, BYU money line on that. Alright, let's go to another big game here that we see. A couple more left on this slate that we wanted to bring to you guys. Um, First thing here we wanna talk about, and this is, going down our list here. a game that I really wanted to look at because of the way they played last week. We got Tennessee. Tennessee at home, -14 favorite, -111 there for your money, +14, -101, pretty much even money there if you take the underdog. Over 56, a little bit cheaper if you take the over, a little bit more expensive if you take the under, and then plus 47, 479, excuse me, on the underdog if you take the upset, -644, $644 to get you 100. Um, in the game last week, Tennessee, they got upset. So, going into Florida, they their last matchup, if I'm not mistaken, their last matchup,
UCF
they yep,
24-13.
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
dogged up on Mississippi State. Lost a pretty good game to Texas A&M,
by
and then
13.
and then of course they lost to Miami on that opener when they got embarrassed.
Yeah,
So yeah, Tennessee coming off an upset. I think they're at home. They're 4-1, 4-1 against the spread. Florida's 2-3 against the spread. Yeah, I like Tennessee. Um, maybe take an alternate spread though, because 14.5 might be a little much.
yeah, that's high. But I kind of see that though. I'm not gonna lie on this one. I see that. I mean, they pretty much Texas A&M they lost by 13 points, and I think Tennessee is a better team than that. But that's right there scraping the line of um, you know, 14 and a half. Okay, they're up by 2 touchdowns. And are they going to get that field goal? Are they going to get that touchdown? Or are they going to, put fourth quarter, kind of run the ball out and punt it and just keep that lead? So I think that's the line is 14. They'll probably win by 2 touchdowns. But will they get another field goal or another touchdown? Or will they kind of sit tight with that lead that they have? I think that's the line. So I think let's take 10 and a half. I mean, excuse me, 9.5 here.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and be safe.
yeah, yeah, I like that.
All right. That's a good matchup there, I think. And then we also have your boys, Dave, that we'll talk about here. And I think that's going to be a really good game too. I'm hoping y'all make us some money tonight. So that game is LSU. You guys are at home against Ole Miss. You guys are the underdog at home, plus 3.5, -106. Either way you cut it. Then you got under over 63, -104, -109 on the over, and then you got -169, plus 143 for the upset. Dave, LSU, what you think about your boys, man?
LSU's been they started pretty quiet just with that loss to USC for the opener, but since then they've been finding ways to win the games. That South Carolina game was pretty close, but they dogged up on UCLA and whoever the fuck USA was at South Alabama last week, and then yeah, Ole Miss is pretty nice. They dogged up on South Carolina last week. They were just 10.5 point favorites there. They won 27-3.
Hmm.
But they lost to Kentucky.
Yeah, yeah.
Kentucky's been giving people fits in the SEC with that tight one against Georgia a few weeks back. But yeah, I like LSU money line, or take the spread, maybe an alternate spread, give them some points. Usually these SEC games are pretty tight, so
Yeah.
I don't see
Yeah.
I don't see it lopsided one way or the other. And Ole Miss is a
It,
good ball team, but I'm gonna be biased and go with LSU. But I'm gonna probably take them with some points. I think I got a money line, just a couple upsets, but yeah,
okay.
be a good game.
All right. I'm riding with you on that one. I like how you're thinking on that one. Okay. So I'm right there with you on LSU. Let's go money line with them. I'm riding with you on that. All right. This next matchup that we want to talk about here is Syracuse. Syracuse versus NC State. Okay, NC State plus two underdogs -110, under over 51.5, -110 either way. And then you got -128 plus 113 if you're calling it upset. This way I see this. Syracuse is a tough team, very tough team. NC State has a rookie quarterback. Now he's good. He's good with his arm. The offense kind of stalls sometimes against good defenses. And I think that this is a good defense. This is a rookie we're talking about. He did play Shashamana Madonna with Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State. You see, he's going crazy. They won a state championship. They're a very good team. They were a very good team last year. That rookie didn't even really expect to play. They had the fifth-year senior from Coastal Carolina come in and start for NC State, but he got hurt. So now that rookie is in. Like I say, when he played against Clemson, they threw him in against Clemson. He was like 11 for 11 starting the game. He can throw the ball. He's accurate, but he's a rookie. And I don't see that this team has enough pieces to beat Syracuse. Syracuse, I think, is going to deliver in this game against NC State. So give me Syracuse on the money line. That's how I see this game going.
Yeah, I got Syracuse money line too. They look pretty good. They can score some points. I haven't really played many good teams other than Georgia Tech, I would say. Couple tight games, Stanford
Yeah.
2-point game, but yeah, NC State hadn't really been, other than that quarterback you're talking about. I mean, the line's only 2 points, so yeah, I like Syracuse money line on that matchup.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So, Dave, you like this game a little bit more than I do, but I love the personnel on this team. But Boise, we'll go to Boise. Boise is taking a trip out to Hawaii. Okay, plus 21 is the home underdogs in Hawaii, minus 21, minus 114, a little bit more expensive for the favorite. Over under 60, minus 114 for the over, a little bit more expensive, and then minus 1650 as a favorite, and then plus 950 for the underdog if you're calling the upset on Hawaii. All right, Dave.
I've got Boise State minus 9.5 on the first half. They got Genty. He comes in, he scores a shitload of touchdowns in the first half, and then he rides the bench for the rest of the game. And then Hawaii will chip back away against the second teamers. But Boise State's a powerhouse. They're not going to be able to stop Genty.
No.
Hawaii really hasn't played anybody, and they've lost a bunch of games.
Yeah.
Let's see. They beat. Yeah, the only team that sticks out is UCLA, which was August 31st, and that was 13-16. And UCLA is not that good either. So, yeah, Boise State first half spread is what I'm taking.
All right. Hey, I like that. I like that. I may not trail that one because I may not trail that one. To me that's risky. But if you see it, you like it, you like it. I mean, like I say, I'm not going to trail that one. But let's put that in your parlay for today. Follow Dave, but Dave hit last week. I should have trailed his ass last week. I didn't, but he hit last week. So and he's be hitting on the touchdowns. So. But last game we had here to talk about was the big matchup late night. Last game we had here to talk about, Dave.
Colorado.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know
We're
what time
back.
it
We're
is.
back on. We're back on Colorado.
Back on Colorado. We back on the bandwagon. We had them against UCF though. We had them.
Yeah,
We had them against UCF. So we fell off the bandwagon when they played. Who was that loss they had?
that
Uh,
was the Nebraska.
Yeah, we jumped off when the Mahomes lookalike went down there and diced their ass up. So
Yeah, vibes were
um
low.
vibes were low.
Shador was in the locker room talking shit about his O line. Yeah, but since then nobody's really been talking about it. But they've been winning ball games against a couple good teams. Baylor, Colorado State, which we thought was going to be a shootout, and they ended up dogging them. So yeah,
Yeah,
they
in
put
this
up
game,
48 last week on UCF. But
yeah,
we also like Kansas State too. So I
right,
think I,
right,
I think I'm taking the over on this game.
right. So this game, plus 3 on the spread here, minus 105, then minus 115 if you want to take the favorite. Colorado is a home underdog tonight. Even though they went through UCF, they blasted them. Over under 55 and a half, minus 110 either way, and then minus 162 on the favorite. and then plus 134 if you call in Colorado. All right, and you
Yeah,
said
I
you like
think.
the over?
Well, I got actually didn't take the over, but I have Colorado money line in one of my parlays, and then I got in another parlay. I got Colorado plus 7.5 alternate spread, which I really like.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I mean, they already are giving them 3 points, for close to even money, so you might as well stretch it.
Yeah, stretch it out a little bit, give them a touchdown.
Yeah. All right. So I like that too. And me personally, I took Colorado money line. I think that this team is different than last year. Last year they didn't even make it to 4-1. They made it to 3-1, and then they made it to like 4-8. So
Yeah,
they're 4-1, and they have a chance to actually get to the college football playoffs. They have a route to actually get there if they can go through this Kansas State team. Now, also, like I say, Kansas State is a really tough team. They had a tough loss against BYU, but at the end of the day, um, they uh, are still a good team.
yeah,
Now, when you look at the next 3 games for Colorado, like I say, this is why I say they have a chance to actually touch the college football playoff. They go into Arizona next. They have to go at Arizona, not too far from Colorado. But then you got Cincinnati. Cincinnati comes to them, and then they got Texas Tech. So this is if they win this game, they can possibly win the next 3 and be in line to touch that college football playoff. I know they'll be favored in the next 3. Maybe against Arizona, it may be a slight underdog, but Cincinnati and Texas Tech, they definitely gonna be a favorite in that game.
yeah. And Colorado, I mean, Shador's putting up good numbers. He's got 300 something yards a game, 14 touchdowns, 3 picks. Kansas State doesn't throw the ball as much. They're more of a running team.
And
But
that's what
yeah,
scares me
yeah, I like
because
I do like Colorado, and this is a Big 12 matchup, so yeah, they need to win if they want to sniff them playoffs.
yeah, and I will say that's what scares me. The only thing is because if you saw UCF last week when they played UCF, maybe a week before last, but when they played UCF, that quarterback all he had was that scramble up the middle, scramble around the edge, like, and that is what this quarterback in Kansas State does. He
Yeah,
can scramble, so I think he'll have success with that. But I don't think that's enough to win this game.
yeah, it'll be a good game though. Must see TV.
For sure, for sure. I was gonna do a tomahawk, but I had to work, so I had to say the tomahawk for Washington versus Baltimore.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, so that's all our picks for today. This is kind of what my parlay. I kind of threw one together, gave you a little parlay look here. So I took Oklahoma. No, this is last week's parlay. Excuse me. Let me go into this week's matchup. So this is one of the ones I took. You got Syracuse here, and then I also took the over 41.5 on this one. Some of the other looks that I was looking to take, that I was looking to actually get into here. I actually got another parlay with locks. Anyways, another parlay that I had kind of lined up for um, today. Oh, here we go. I got it. All right, so let's go through this one. Ball State. I took Ball State on this one as well. Some of the experts are saying that Ball State's going to go through Kent State. Kent State, to me, has nothing.
Yeah,
Um, so Ball State has next to nothing. I just think that they'll beat them. Um, they'll definitely take that game. So I took them, threw them in my parlay, money line minus 194. Then I took Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's been getting everybody fits. They play Kentucky. I do think they'll lose, but Kentucky hasn't put up a lot of points on anybody, to be honest. So Vanderbilt, a tough team. Kentucky hasn't put up a lot on anybody. Give me plus 17.5 on that game. And then Colorado, we took them straight up. I took them straight up. So we put them in a parlay plus 126. And then Boise, give me Boise by 2 touchdowns at the end of the game. Also, here's more of what I have as a lock. These are 4 picks that I think that'll hit. BYU, give me BYU at home against Arizona. The Arizona doesn't have much. They have a quarterback wide receiver kind of duo. And if that doesn't work, you can beat them. You also have Ohio State. I think they're going to be too much for Oregon. Oregon's a great team. Don't get me wrong, but that guy Dylan Gabriel, to me, doesn't quite have it yet. Boise State almost knocked them off. Ohio State is a much better team than what Boise State is all around. I'm talking running backs, talking 2 running backs that they found. They also have wide receivers. Their depth at wide receivers is really good. Then I'm taking LSU. I'm riding with LSU. I don't believe in Ole Miss quite yet. Dart, Jackson Dart, um, good quarterback, but Nussmeier, he's got some type of just it factor. He's got
Yeah, he's solid.
yeah, he's a really good quarterback, man. And I think that this game's gonna come down to the quarterback. Now, and then also we already talked about Syracuse. I put them in my parlay. I don't think the NC State rookie will have enough, or the NC State freshman will have enough. He'll put together enough. I don't think he'll put together enough to win against this Syracuse team. So this is my 4 picks. I think these are locks for me today. I think it was $10 on it to win like $5 or whatever on it to win like $60, $10 to win 100 or something like that. Yeah, it's plus 1065. So if you put 10 on this, you'll probably win 106 somewhere around there. So that's my parlay ticket for today. Dave, how you feeling?
Yeah, I've got trailed a couple of those. I like Syracuse, BYU, Penn State minus a couple points, Colorado plus 7.5. Yeah, I got LSU as well. So see if we can hit something, get back on the train this week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So y'all already know this is TD Talk. Y'all go follow us on Instagram, TD.talk. And then we also got our YouTube channel up. We live right now on YouTube, on Twitter, and we also live on Twitch. So y'all go and follow our social medias wherever you do social media. We appreciate it. And we will be back tomorrow for our NFL locks, our NFL picks. Dave, win some money.
Yeah, it was a good show. We got some good picks today. We'll see what we got tomorrow for the NFL picks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.